What's this about you losing your Kevlar?
It bounced off my head, Sergeant Major, last night.
Bounced off your head?
I was up on the 50 cal and the Humvee went over a berm, Sergeant Major.
That Kevlar wasn't yours to lose! That was the property of this United States Marine Corps! Belonged to every Marine! Got you on fire to secure that Hendrick! You jeopardized every Marine serving today! I was considering NJP in your office. Sergeant Colbert, this is what happens when you don't enforce grimmer standards. The men's gets all lax, and another standard falls. Double R gear stops you his chin strap, goes over the bump, Kevlar goes flying up his head, and our protective posture is weakened.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for choosing Cold War Radio. I'm your host, Hutch Bailey Jr. from the Alpha Foxtrot studio in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Cold War Radio patron hotline, 412-206-6208. The voicemail, 412-567-1460. Please visit SteelCityResistance.com, where you can become a Cold War Radio patron. We certainly thank you guys every day. You can catch the research room, tons of information in there for you to utilize. The Video 2 page has the videos of the audio clips that we play on the show. If you'd like to write to the program, please write to Cold War Radio, P.O. Box 10433, 370 Castle Shannon Boulevard, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15234. Please go to rsbn.bandcamp.com and support Jacob Seals. This is the Right Side Soundtrack, Volume 1, Number 4, Funkin' Good Time. One of my favorites from back in the original Donald J. Trump for President campaign. I want to thank Jacob for letting us use a material, great music. Been using it for ever since I heard it, actually. Ladies and gentlemen, I have absolutely no idea how long this show is going to last. I don't know. I don't have any show notes. As of right now, I don't have any co-hosts. I have some feelers out there, and it's understandable if someone wouldn't want to come right back on. I definitely understand that. I just... Sometimes, folks, I go through my day and I feel like, man, I got to get on the air. And today was one of those days. I don't know about you. I haven't been partaking in a whole lot of news or anything like that. But man, when I do, I get on there and I'll tell you, I think the last 3 or 4 times that I engaged in the news site, I lasted less than 5 minutes. Wow, we are under such a group. It's bizarre. You know, you look at history and you wonder, how in the hell did that happen in Russia? How did that happen in Germany? How did that happen in Japan? Well, look around, ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do is make the people stupid. It doesn't even have to be stupid, just to sleep. Just to sleep. I mean, you look at all the people that are lying right now. And, you know, when I say that, I have to check myself. You know, it's like, now hold on. Before I accuse everybody of lying, am I sure that I'm not screwed up? And guys, you know we're not screwed up. You know you lived through this with me. There's a whole lot of people telling a whole lot of lies, and lies don't last, folks. I mean, they may last for a little while, but do you think that the Germans in Germany understood what savages they were when they were Nazis, the same way with the Japanese? No. I think afterward they figured it out, and then they destroyed their own countries with immigration. But I'm looking right now, and I wanted to put out, again, I don't know how long the show's going to last. I'm going to open the phones up early. Not yet, but early. But there's some things that I'm seeing that I wanted to share with you. And it's becoming very obvious. You're seeing the breakdown of the facade that was up during the Trump administration. There's blood in the water. And the rats are looking for the nearest way off the ship. And I want to point something out to you all, because we're only going to have one chance. The projection out there is phenomenal. And again, I don't have any show notes, so I may have to revert to going into my browser, but I'm going to go from memory. For right now, the Lincoln Project, headed up by a band of traitors, that is every bit as traitorous as the Vichy French were to the French people during World War II. These people are scumbags. They ought to be identified on sight. And we're gonna be very careful with our verbiage, because, and I would ask that all of you do that as well, because we are all being set up. As you can tell, you can see the media. And after the reporting of last year and the parasites in the different Democrat cities, or the lack of reporting, I should say, it's almost comical if it wasn't happening, to watch the reporting by Jake Tapper, who's another one that should be identified on site. And to hear what the Lincoln Project is starting a database to hold all Trump employees and supporters accountable. And that's projection if I ever heard of it, because that's what you better do, damn it. That's what you better be doing right now. You better be paying attention to every single Republican that you hear, because there's only one of two reasons why these people are denouncing the president. And the fear is palpable. The whole idea behind the entire impeachment is that he can never run again. And if they could put it off onto his bloodline, they would do that too. But that's what this is all about, because they're terrified. They know they are one action away from the firing squad, really, if you think about it. But what I want to do, I want to play something right now just to bring you back into focus, and then we're going to go back to some of the things that you've heard in the last 24, 48 hours. Secretary Pompeo, one of the few men inside the Trump administration.
Last year, I received an invitation to an event that promised to be, quote, an occasion for exclusive deal-making. It said, quote, the opportunities for mutually beneficial economic development between China and our individual states are tremendous, end of quote. Deal-making sounds like it might have come from President Trump, but the invitation was actually from a former governor. I was being invited to the U.S.-China Governors Collaboration Summit. It was an event co-hosted by the National Governors Association and something called the Chinese People's Association for Friendship and Foreign Countries. Sounds pretty harmless. What the invitation did not say is that the group I just mentioned, is the public face of the Chinese Communist Party's official foreign influence agency, the United Front Work Department. Now, I was lucky. I was familiar with that organization from my time as the director of the Central Intelligence Agency, but it got me thinking. How many of you made the link between that group and Chinese Communist Party officials? What if you made a new friend while you were at that event? What if your new friend asked you for introductions to other politically connected and powerful people? What if your new friend offered to invest big money in your state, perhaps in your pension, in industries sensitive to our national security? These aren't hypotheticals. These scenarios are all too true, and they impact American foreign policy significantly. Indeed, last year, a Chinese government-backed think tank in Beijing produced a report that assessed all 50 of America's governors on their attitudes towards China. They labeled each of you friendly, hardline, or ambiguous. I'll let you decide where you think you belong. Someone in China already has. Many of you, indeed, in that report are referenced by name. So here's the lesson. The lesson is that competition with China is not just a federal issue. It's why I wanted to be here today, Governor Hogan. It's happening in your states with consequences for our foreign policy, for the citizens that reside in your states, and indeed for each of you. And in fact, whether you're viewed by the CCP as friendly or hardline, know that it's working you. Know that it's working the team around you. Competition with China is happening inside of your state, and it affects our capacity to perform America's vital national security functions. I want to set the context today for this topic. At the end of the Cold War, America started to engage with China heavily. It made good sense. We thought that the more we interacted, the more it would become like a liberal democracy, like us here in the United States. It didn't happen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to make sure that you heard that again. Those of you that are loyal listeners have heard it several times. But, you know, it's one of those things. It's one of those documents. It's not a document. It's an audio file, but it's a piece of our history, a tool that we can learn from. First of all, let me say that the coercion from the Chinese communists is not just to governors, but I will say this. In my opinion, there are two major reasons. All right, let me start from the beginning. Let's not confuse ourselves, and let's understand that if we're going to successfully navigate this mess that they've put in front of us, that we have to focus, and we can't try to do everything. We have to break this off into pieces that we can manage. And I would submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, and I would take any other advice or suggestions when we open the phones. If you think I'm off on this, or if you think there's another direction to go. But I think, in my opinion, I want to win again. And I've told you before, we can't win with this broke-ass team that we have. We have a team that this is like this is the enemy in the wire, people. I mean, I want you to, who are the governors that are making the most noise? Governor Christie. I want to see Governor Christie's bank account. Either that. See, to me, it's either one of two things. It actually could be three. The third one being involved in the coup with the FBI and the CIA. But the other two things, the more prominent ones to me right now, are you a Chinese prostitute? Or are you a Jeffrey Epstein Island visitor? Chris Christie, which one of those two are you, man? I could see either one with your fat ass. It could be either one. You know, you're a hideous man. You always have been. But is your nest feathered with Chinese communist money? I want to know that. Governor Hogan of Maryland, I want to know that about you, too. And notice, I'm not talking about Governor Wolf or Northam, because I don't give a damn about them. They're already in the enemy camp. I don't need any further proof that they're the enemy of me than what I did today when I walked down in my business district of my little neighborhood and I saw the destruction past walking by these businesses. But when you look into businesses, even the ones that are open, and you see the stools and the chairs up on the table, and you see the windows that haven't been washed in months, and you see Scotch tape on the picture window of a bar room that looks like it hasn't been cleaned in months. What you've done to this country is hideous, and you will pay for it in time. But I don't care about the Democrats is my point. We need to focus on the enemies inside the Republican Party, and damn fast we have to decide. Are we going to try to save this party like Marco Rubio wants us to do? And some people that I respect also. Or are we going to burn it down and start over? Because the deck's stacked against us right now. I mean, there's not a whole lot we're going to be able to do if the immorality runs as deep as the entire Democrat Party, which I fear it does. I fear that the weak-ass Democrats that are in politics, in Congress, and in state and local government, I think they're more at risk than the Republicans when it comes to blackmail, because they're sexually freaky anyway. All you got to do is look at the news. These people do things that normal people don't even think about in their nightmares. They do these things. And you hear about them every single day. So you know that they're beholden to the Maxine Waters and whatever. Who knows what the hell she does. But my point is, forget about the Democrats. Don't waste your time on trying to analyze, trying to convict. Don't waste your time with them. We have to clean up our own ranks if we're ever going to win. Now, we know, for a fact, we know that we outnumber the hell out of them. You know that. Intuitively, you know that. You've been out in the crowds. You've been to the rallies. You drive around now. How many Biden signs do you still see up? Not very many. There's a couple. But there's still a lot of Trump signs up. Now, I mean, that's a done deal. All right? Unless something miraculous happens, which I'm not looking for. Now it's time. It's time to get back in the fight. And it's going to be hard, and it's going to be, we're going to feel some pain as conservatives, especially the ones that don't cower. And cower's not a good word, especially the ones that don't exercise self-protection, because you may have to do that. But there may have to be some of us that stick our heads up. I don't know. I'll let you know if I decide to do that or not. I'm doing it right now. They're making lists, folks. They're making lists. And incidentally, I would like somebody to put together. Let's do a hashtag on Parler. Let's do the Cold War. Somebody figure it out. Go look and see if Cold War Radio's open. That's a lot to type out. If we could go CWR, we need to have somewhere. All right, if they shut down the Play Store and whatnot, that's minimal at this point. But they're out there asking, please don't abandon Parler, and I'm not going to. They say they got a plan and a backup plan. Let's get a hashtag together there so we can communicate about things like this, about this special show, because I already announced that I was leaving Facebook. I haven't left yet. It was kind of hard for me to pull the trigger, and I didn't. And then I got into some other things and just decided, well, I'll get to it when I get to it, and I will. But we need to have some continuity at this point. Telegram. That's the second time I heard that. Somebody's got to tell me what that means. All right, MeWe. Yeah, I'm not on MeWe. I might be. I don't remember being on there. I'm on Parler, though. Anyway, my main concern tonight was every single person, every single Republican, rather, that turns on President Trump, there's a reason. And it's not because they're at odds with President Trump's politics. It's because they're scared to death. And they want him dead, by the way. They want you dead, too. I'm talking about Republican congressmen. And hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, you know by now the definition of congressman. There's no need to say congressmen and senators. Congress is a bicameral body. It is a two-house party. The Senate and the House of Representatives. Collectively, they are the Congress. So congressmen or congressmen and women, if it offends you, Congress includes all of them. And that's what we need to fix. Telegram messages are heavily encrypted and can self-destruct. Sync Telegram lets you access your chats from multiple devices. All right, okay, there you go. Appreciate the... First of all, let me say I appreciate people coming out. This was a last-minute thing. I was in there working around trying to get this... I'm trying to get this laptop cleaned up. I can't get it to work with Uber Conference for some reason. I was on a instant messenger with Uber Conference for about an hour today, though I got fed up with it. I got to fix that laptop so I can go back to camp. Man, I got a lot of things to do up there. But we will figure it out one way or another. That is for sure. I want to play one more thing. No, two more things. I want to remind everybody, I really, really do not want people to fall into this communist trap. I trust Marco Rubio as much as I trust Chuck Schumer, and as much as I trusted John McCain, Ben Sass, Adam Kinzinger, who was the prick from Lebanon or Syria, Justin Amash. I don't trust any of these people. Pat Toomey, Lou Barletta. I don't trust any of them. They're all, we're almost to the point, and Crenshaw almost blew this. I mean, these guys get in there, and they're so young that they have no frame of reference when it comes to history. These people think that 6 bathrooms are normal, Crenshaw, and people that just never lived without an iPhone. Okay, he had some physical hardships, no question. Who didn't? Try having them for 35 years, Mr. Crenshaw. And I'm taking nothing away from your service, by the way. It's your legislation I don't like. And I don't like most of you. I really don't. I think these people that go to Washington, and I've said this over and over, all you have to do is go there once to realize what a cesspool it is. I mean, it doesn't even strike you like an American city, especially now that they're tearing down all the monuments, which I guess they haven't really. But other than the monuments, I mean, it looks like the United Nations. I mean, it has no resemblance to any American city that I've ever seen. I mean, you can't even get normal food in Washington, D.C. I mean, they have some Mexicans trying to put out pizza and whatnot, but I had some good shepherd's pie there. I got to admit that. I had some good Irish food there, but enough on that. Marco Rubio, ladies and gentlemen, do not fall for it.
The events that we saw this week should sicken every single one of us. Mob violence of the kind that you see in third world countries happened not just in America, but in your Capitol building. I don't care what hat they wear. I don't care what banner they're carrying. Riots should be rejected by everyone, every single time. Now, are the left hypocrites? Absolutely. I remember what they now are calling insurrection, they were justifying just this summer. They called it the language of the unheard when rioters were burning cities. Is the mainstream media, especially places like CNN and MSNBC, outrageously biased? Of course, 100%. I remember one of the CNN hosts last summer on the air saying,
this moron is so out of touch. and so stuck in Havana or Miami, the main street media, has anybody ever heard it called the main street media? Give me a break, man.
Something like, tell me where it says protests need to be polite and peaceful. And by the way, this kind of blatant bias, this double standard, that's one of the reasons why so many Americans have sought political shelter in divisive political movements and in conspiracy theories that offer them the promise of fighting back against it. But here's what I want you to hear right now. We can't allow our anger about all of that stuff to turn us into them. Remember what President Nixon said at the White House as he was leaving after his downfall? One of the lessons he said,
yeah, we're going to go to China. That's what he said. He said, screw the 58,000 American GIs that died in Vietnam. We're going to China. And Joe Biden's going to help us, and so's Marco Rubio.
Others may hate you, but those who hate you don't win unless you hate them. And then you destroy yourself. We can't destroy ourselves. Now, how do we explain what we saw? How could this happen here in America? It kind of begins with millions of Americans who voted for President Trump. They saw the nonstop bias and double standard of the legacy media. They see how social media companies covered up stories negative to Joe Biden. They saw how state officials mutilated election integrity laws to help the Democrats. And the result is you have...
Hold on. So you saw that at the state level, but yet you're calling it a conspiracy. This guy's Chinese, man. You know what? He might be a Epstein Chinese.
Millions of people who are convinced that the election wasn't fair and that the outcome wasn't legitimate. Millions of people. And they wanted something done about it. And of those millions of people, tens of thousands of them came to Washington, D.C. this week demanding that action be taken, that we do something.
Hundreds of thousands, El Marco. I know. Well, I'm not even going to go there. I was going to talk about your dad, but I'm not. Hundreds of thousands, 500,000 at the minimum.
99% of the people who came here had nothing to do with that mob, nothing. But 1% of tens of thousands of people is a lot of people. It's enough to inflict damage on buildings, and it's enough to do even more damage to our country. Now that we're looking at what's going on and learning more about it,
you ain't even seen damage yet.
That mob were believers in a ridiculous conspiracy theory.
Ridiculous.
And others were lied to by politicians that were telling them that the vice president had the power to change the election.
Because we're that stupid. We have to listen to them, right?
The result is that now 4 people have died. Police officers were seriously injured. And our country was embarrassed before the entire world. For those of us on the center right of American politics, now is a time that calls for honest reflection.
Bill Kristol.
You know, it wasn't long ago that we controlled the House and the Senate and the White House. And 4 years later, we've lost all 3.
Because of you.
We need to reflect on why this has happened.
And Paul Ryan.
This country needs a viable and attractive alternative to the agenda of the radical left.
Attractive like bubbles?
And we can't go back to the party of 2012. A party that, frankly, was out of touch with...
Your ass is itching, buddy. It's never going away.
We must continue to fight for working Americans, not for corporations. We welcome legal immigrants, but we have to enforce our laws. We have to take the threat of China seriously. We have to investigate what went wrong in the last election and fix our election laws so people can have faith and confidence in it. We must continue to call out the media bias instead of being bullied by it. And we must oppose political correctness and social media censorship and identity politics and this cult of wokeness. And we can do all these things without indulging the darkest instincts or inciting the most destructive impulses, and without the rhetoric and behavior that keeps the millions of Americans who agree with us from joining us in this fight.
I mean, is it just me? Or is this guy... I mean, I think he wants you to re-up your subscription to the Weekly Standard. You know, let's all go on a cruise, and we can't go back to 2012. Oh, we can never do anything like that again. Man, you're about half stupid. You know, that's the problem with you people in Washington. you sit there and you talk to each other, and you think we're never going to go back to 2012. We're never going away from 2012. We got a little taste of what it's like to kick China in the ass instead of getting our ass perpetually kicked, every decade of my life, pretty much. I remember driving around, and I'm going to hurt your feelings if language bothers you, but I'm just going to tell you like it is. I remember driving around in the 70s with a car with a bumper sticker on it that said, "Fuck Iran." And it had another bumper sticker that said, "Fuck Russia." That's the way people my age feel. China wasn't really mature yet, so we were still dealing with them. But I got to tell you, Marco Rubio, this guy is a cancer. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, I've been telling you this since I first got into political radio. And I got into arguments with his campaign committee when I was down in Orlando, and I got witnesses, if any of them are still alive. I got in a shouting match with them. I told them, you know what? He's never going to be president. I'll fight against him being president. And this was before the Romney campaign, or it was during the Romney campaign. Rubio is a scumbag plant from Havana. And if he's not from Havana, he's definitely from the Weekly Standard or the Koch brothers. And I guarantee you he's got some Chinese money, and so does his bartender father. And that's just the way that is. The rest of these people, they're no better. They're no better. I mean, remember, Epstein or China, or possibly, what are they going to do with Brennan and Clapper? Are we just going to pretend that didn't happen? Because that's what they're going to try. I mean, I'm opening the phones, 412-206-6208. If you want to call in, I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what else we can do. Bring some ideas. Everybody that's on there, call in. We'll party line it. I'll manage a party line for a while. If I get at least 5 callers, if I get 5 callers in the next 5 minutes, we will throw a party line on there. I don't care how many people join. Within limits. I don't want to get nuts here. 412-206-6208. Stay on hold, and I will give you the progress. If nothing happens, if nobody feels like talking, that's cool. That's okay. I just won't be on here that long. I've got a lot of things to do, too. I just felt like coming out here and talking to you because the thing that was so obvious to me was the Chinese whores that are dumping the president. That's what this is, especially a governor. Governor Kemp ought to be in leg irons by now. Christie, Hogan. What's some more? Did DeWine open his yap yet? Out of Ohio, who else is out there that's a Republican that falls into this trap? Because I know there's more. And they're out there, and by God, they ought to be identified for what they are. Because and I know, all you got to do with most of these pricks is follow the money. We got 3 on board. Need 2 more. 2 more, ladies and gentlemen, and we will open the party line. But for right now, we'll just take them in order. Let's go to Sean in California. You're always number 1. You got that down pat, man, don't you?
Hey, what's up, Hutch and everybody? How you all doing?
You know what? I'm going to open everybody up. Hold on. We got Regina in Richmond. Good evening, Regina. Thanks for joining the show.
Hello.
And we also have Ralph out of
Regina.
Missouri. Thank you, Ralph, for joining. Haven't heard you from a while. How you been?
Oh, I've been listening. I'm good.
Outstanding. All right, Sean, your thoughts and pass it around.
Well, like you said, I think it's coming down to the wire now, what we need to decide on the party. Do we abandon it and burn it down, or do we create a new one? Or, stay with this one and rebuild it. And quite frankly, I don't think we can rebuild it at this point. It's looking pretty bleak. I'm not seeing any other way of, other than just pretty much destroying it, metaphorically speaking, by just saying, let's create a new party. I mean,
Regi-
sure, we're going to probably get our butts kicked, but it's
Regina,
better than nothing.
what are your thoughts, Regina? What do you think? Do you think that that's feasible, knowing that takes some time? I mean, I'm not against it or for it at this point. I do have my own feelings about it, but your thoughts about this issue?
It's gonna take time, and that's the part that right now we're kind of sort of not having. That's the part that's kind of sort of got me
I agree.
frustrated.
I think it's possible, but I just Ralph, I worry at the amount of damage, because immediately upon pursuing that, every Marco Rubio, Chris Christie, Pat Toomey becomes a Democrat overnight. So you know that's going to happen, at least in my opinion. But what are your thoughts, Ralph?
Well, I'll tell you two things. One is that a third-party candidate has never been successful in this country up until the Jesse, the mind is a terrible thing to waste Ventura, became the governor of Minnesota. And we know it's better to rebuild from within the party we got now, because you got to go through the same thing. But why bother to start out from scratch? Why not just play heads up, watch what's going on, and don't sit around and let these guys play.
Well, I mean, you have a point there. I would ask, how would we protect ourselves against the Marco Rubios and the Pat Toomeys and the Paul Ryans and the John Boehners and the John Boltons and the John Kellys and all these people that say they're Republicans, but they're damn sure nothing but communists?
Yeah, two words.
Good.
2 words. Okay, is we pay attention and we communicate.
All right. I mean, that's good enough. Ken from King George, you're on there. I hope you're go ahead.
Just buy everything they throw at us.
Right. And nobody worry. We're going to go around. You're all going to get time to talk. I'm just trying to I don't want anybody to get frustrated and hang up. So, Ken, you sound like you got a cold over there. You all right? You're sounding like a COVID victim or something.
No, well, actually, I had 2 guys in the shop test positive the other day, so I went and took a test this morning. I don't have the Wuhan, but I got something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got the sniffles.
Part of life, brother. Part of life always has been. So your thoughts on the whole situation?
It's that time of year. Well, it's that time of year. I got allergies and all kinds of other crap, so that's probably what it is. But no, I mean, the biggest hurdle that we're going to have, whether you try to rebuild the Republican Party or go third party, is the media. Even if you try to primary half these clowns that are in there, if they say the right thing, I mean, look at how much of an ass Lindsey Graham is. But that guy, I mean, he sprints to a freaking camera every chance he gets.
Oh, what a sickening guy! I think his career's done, man. I do. I don't think he's going to survive this. Well, I don't think a lot of these guys are. I really don't, man. I think that there's enough people like us that have watched this for so long to watch these people capitulate the way they have. Again, I think, well, first of all, I think, again, living in D.C. makes them feel like they can do this dumb shit and get away with it. I don't see how anybody that I know that I've ever drank a beer with could sit there and watch Lindsey Graham's capitulation, Marco Rubio's, Christie's, Governor Hogan's, Pat Toomey. I don't know anybody that I've ever broke bread with that would not call that cowardice. I think people see that.
I mean, and every other freaking hour, my favorite talk radio station, 105.9, even though you got Rush and Levin and all those guys on there, right? The commercials are still,
Oh, you're damn right.
You got to listen to Sanjay Gupta tell you how to live a better life.
It's sickening, man. I know it's sickening. It's absolutely sickening. And let me get back in the rotation here. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, 412-206-6208. You too can be a member of the party line here on Cold War Radio. Special report on a Sunday evening, just because I had to get back to the microphone, folks. You're too good to us when it comes to your patronage. And sometimes I just feel like it's my business to be behind this microphone, and tonight was one of those nights, man. I mean, Sean, I felt like that. I'm glad that you came on. What else is on your mind? What other things do you think we can do? And when you're finished, if you could pass it to Regina, please.
Right. Okay. Well, I agree. The media is going to be a very big problem, and we're seeing a lot of new conservative platforms pop up like Parler. The problem with Parler is they don't have their own servers, but Gab does. Now, if we ever do this, we need to keep making sure in the back of our minds we need to have our own servers. We need to build our own darn internet that is completely not controlled by the left, from Google, Amazon, Yahoo. All of these big tech companies need to go.
We did get played, man. We got played pretty bad.
Now, there is one thing that I saw, and I'm on it now. It's called Rumble. And then there's the other video platform. Rumble's a video platform, but I think everybody should know that it's there, it exists, and it allows you to actually make money. It monetizes your videos without having to go through YouTube or anything. But it has that option if you want to go and monetize your videos on YouTube too. It's there, but I don't recommend it at all. Just stay with Rumble. It gives you selection of licenses of which ones you want to have, fully licensed for your monetize, and what platforms it's allowed to be on. If you want to search Rumble videos on, let's say, DuckDuckGo, if you select a certain type of license, it will prevent that video from popping up from DuckDuckGo or Google.com. You will only be able to search it on Rumble. So there's that. We're building a lot of new alternative platforms. It's going to take time. It has been taking time. Unfortunately, it's just showing that we're still behind because of how we don't have our own servers. We need to build our own internet. That is the biggest thing. If we do this, everyone will stop tuning into the television. That's my opinion on that. And Regina, you go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Sean.
And Regina, you talk about what's going on and what you're thinking about, and then please pass it to Ralph when you're finished.
Okay. Because, see, I'm kind of sort of, frustrated because I kind of sort of hear a lot of people keep saying that you got to do something. You got to do something. And I'm like going, we tried to do something, but we got stabbed.
Yes, we did.
And right now, a lot of people ain't thinking because as we found out with President Trump, he was surrounded by a lot of criminals. And in order for us to get into the Republican Party, you pretty much got to sell your soul. And that's the part that a lot of people haven't thought through.
Well, see, that's what I was thinking when I was talking about, I heard a couple people say third party. I wasn't encouraging a third party. I was encouraging killing the Republican Party and replacing it, not a third party. I mean, and I don't know how you do that. I'd have to go back. There's precedent for this. It happened with the Whig Party in the 1850s. The Republican Party killed them. But it took several years.
The tricky part is that you got Ronald McDaniel, and Ronald McDaniel is probably going around making sure all her people are listening to her only.
Guaranteed. No doubt. I agree with you.
So that's going to be a problem to try to penetrate that, because you kind of sort of going to have to go in there. You pretty much going to have to lie about everything about yourself in order to get in there. And that's the part that a lot of people ain't thinking about. A lot of people are thinking that they can go in and they can be warms and hugs and fuzzies and stuff like that.
You're
and
so
not
right.
get substances.
That's
And
the
not
way
get
the whole political world's like that. I mean, this is how these people like Justice Roberts and Pat Toomey, they get neutralized, man. I mean, they're not good people. And they end up, I mean, politics, you've heard what politics is. Politics is Hollywood for stupid people. That's what it is, and ugly people. I mean, it's like for people, what's that congressman out of Connecticut, Blumenthal? Can you imagine this guy looks like Skeletor? How does he get a job with anybody? And there's a camera involved. I mean, it's unbelievable. All right, let me move this along, Regina.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pass it to Ralph.
Ralph, you're on, buddy. What's up? We got a couple new callers too, so we got to move it along, and then we'll come back.
Okay. Well, I'll make it brief.
It doesn't have to be that brief.
Well, I know, but to try to be straight to the point is that, like Regina said, we got our butts kicked, but Donald Trump, if he did anything, he showed us and the rest of the world just how screwed up the swamp is and how well entrenched these people are.
And how bad the Republicans are.
Yeah, well, that's all part of it. I mean, the rhinos, whatever, because like I was going to say, too, is that Trump is not a one-man band. He can't do it all himself, and he's not getting any support. And so now the only thing left to do is, turn out the lights, the party's over, more or less, and try to regroup and come back in 4 years or whatever, because there's no court in the land that's going to take this case. The Supreme Court told Trump that he had no standing. I don't know how they figured that.
That was sickening, too. That whole thing was absolutely sickening. I guess one of the most important things that I'm trying to do tonight, well, not tonight, but just in general, is, look, we've got 6 plus me is 7. We got 7 people, intelligent people on here wargaming this out. We've got another 100 and some listening. By the time next week comes, 500 people would listen to this. So let's, give ourselves the credit that we deserve. We're thinking patriotic Americans. We have to have these conversations. We have to wargame this out. We can't just sit here and be the recipients of some idiot like Joe Biden. I mean, remember Biden? This is Biden. Remember this.
You got to see Biden. Yes, I did.
You can look at me.
Obama, 2012. He's going to win, baby. He's the man.
These are the morons.
Biden was down here, and it was awesome.
That's a real woman.
Go, Obama!
What do you like most about the Obama administration?
That, let's see, healthcare. Yeah. And schools.
Obama Academy.
And what else do I like about him? I like everything about Obama, basically.
What does it mean to have Biden out here talking?
Greatest day ever to have Biden here.
In the whole wide world.
Ever in my life to see him in person like that.
What a pitiful life.
Did you get goosebumps?
Oh yeah, big time, man. I love Obama and I love Biden too. Because Biden's all business.
All business.
He's all business.
With China.
I'll tell you how it is, and that's why I love him so much.
I appreciate it.
And I love Obama.
I know you do.
Yeah! Go Obama!
Oh. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from Pittsburgh Studio number 1, it's Cold War Radio. Here's your host, Hutch Bailey Jr.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here on Cold War Radio. We've got the party line in effect. We are going to King George County, Virginia. Did I get that right? Ken from King George. Ken, you're on. Please pass it to a new guest, Marlene, out of Oregon.
All right. Am I still on mute?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
I just had to kill that cough, brother. You know the deal.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That's okay.
I just wish you quit playing my cousin, man. we have one.
You ought to see her teeth, too, boy. She was, I mean, that was 11 a.m., drunk as hell on beer. That's a lot of beer.
That's probably my cousin. We have
It's
one.
my ex-wife.
So my dad's one of 11 kids, and I have one cousin was a big-time Obama supporter, and she took more shit at every family reunion you could shake a stick at. But
and she still came for the free food.
Oh yeah.
They always do.
As Sean was pointing out, you know, they said, "Oh, well, if you don't like this platform, create your own," right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then now all of a sudden you've got all these other big tech platforms that well, you can't download this app if you have this certain type of phone, you know. So where the hell is the government stepping in there saying, hey, you know?
See, here's the thing: you got to understand what they did to us. What they did to us. This party, this Republican Party, this is one of the things that infuriates me more than anything else. The whole damn thing, Ken, is built on globalist money. The entire goddamn party is built on Chinese money. Don't ever forget that. The Koch brothers and everybody else, the banks, the freaking Wall Street, it's all Mitt Romney, Ronna McDaniel, it's all globalist. Every single nickel except for the one that you sent. And that's what Sean, one of the things that we could learn from what he said is we need to learn the address list of where to send our money. We got to stop sending it to these places that outsource everything. I mean, I'll tell you, man, I walking through my neighborhood tonight, man, it made me almost cry, man. And I know because I go to my camp all the time and I drive through these small towns. And I mean, when you have one stretch of land where a Long John Silver, a KFC, a Dairy Queen, they're all abandoned. But there's cars running up and down the street. You know, I mean, it's criminal, man, and it's heartbreaking.
Oh yeah, I think I pointed that out when we went up to that horse show up in Coatesville.
Of course.
I mean, we ended up staying at a Marriott on the other side of Coatesville, and the way the GPS took us, we went right through the heart of Coatesville. And
that's right outside of Philadelphia, right? And you know, you look at Lebanon, Pennsylvania. You want Puerto Rico to be a state, go to Lebanon, Pennsylvania first before you vote on that. And go see what that place looks like. It doesn't even look like an American city anymore.
Oh, we used to cruise down there.
So did I. I used to live in that county. I was a fire chief in that county. You know, and there were small areas of the city, and they weren't Puerto Rican, by the way. They were Mexican, where it was a firefighter's nightmare. Because what they did during the day, they put all the mattresses up vertically against the walls, like the mafia. And then in the night, in the evening, every single inch of floor space was a mattress with somebody sleeping on it. Unbelievable. Can you pass it to Marlene, man? She's been waiting a while.
Yeah. Let's hear what Marlene's got to say.
Oh, hey, Ken. Hello, everybody.
Hey, cool.
Oh, okay. I'm actually over here in Florence, but I'm outside our hotel room so I can get a signal and all that stuff. Anyway,
what are you out there holidaying? You out there vacationing and whatnot?
Well, it's my birthday tomorrow, Hutch, and I told David, I said, this is a pleasant surprise because my birthday's tomorrow, and we came over here, and I had no idea
what was the
tonight. Like,
what was the occasion again? I didn't hear you.
My birthday, which is actually tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday, Marlene. Happy birthday from the show.
Thank you. Marlene. Thank you. All
right, everybody, you guys ready? We got to sing happy birthday, man. Let's go. I mean, there are all you people on there, so help me out here.
But I don't care.
Ready? Happy birthday to
you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday
Birthday to Marlene. Happy birthday to you.
You know what? You know what I forgot? I forgot the 30-second delay. I bet I had you guys all messed up. I shut up. I finally shut up.
Everything was out of sync.
Yeah, I finally shut up, and you guys did good, man. So happy birthday, Marlene. What's on your mind? And I got another caller after you. So when you're finished, please pass it to Rico, and he gets impatient.
Okay.
So don't make it 10
I
minutes.
know he does.
Because he'll hang up.
Well, what I've been thinking and watching, and I agree with Sean that yes, we probably should start our own internet. But yeah, it's not going to take 5 minutes. It's going to take a little while.
Yeah.
And I also think that as much as possible, we should be getting off the platforms where they're censoring us the most. I haven't done that yet, but it's very possible I will be.
Well, I know when I told everybody I was getting off of Facebook, I mean, that was one of the most traveled posts I ever made, man. I mean, I got a lot of people,
Yeah.
that commented on that.
Travel, and then I know that Word puts a lot of stuff on Facebook, but on the other hand, I'm also think probably going to get off Twitter. The only thing I'm wondering about Twitter is whether all those direct messages, do those stay or do those go? Because if they go, I've got a bunch of picturing to do.
You can download them. You can download all that stuff, but do it before you get suspended.
Before I go off, okay.
Because I got suspended,
Okay.
and I can't do it, but I can see where you can do it.
That's good to know. Okay.
Now with Facebook,
the other-
you're able to download. One of the things I always liked about Facebook was the pictures.
Yeah.
So what I did was you can download all of those, and I did all that. So I'm ready to
Okay.
pull the trigger. I just didn't do it yet.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know about direct messaging with Twitter, because I've got one or two people I kind of like to save a few messages. And but anyway, my other thing is this is really more of a question, because I have been various people that we know with Valerie, and I don't know about anybody else, but they were posting some videos from some people that I'm wondering if there's really something to what they're saying, or is it just a bunch of conspiracy theory?
What's the
There's
subject
one
matter?
Guy, it's talking about what's going on now, and one of them was this guy. He sounded like he was from New York because of his accent, and he loved to cuss and swear like it was going out of style.
Like me.
And you're a lot better though. This guy was off the charts, man.
I can get there. I can get there.
I know you can't.
Let me get my Irish on. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Oh, I know. I heard you. It's pretty funny. But anyway, this guy, I guess his first name was David, some guy from New York, and he's going on about how, yes, Trump is going to still be our president, and then he...
That's nuts. That's nuts. That's not true. Forget about it. I
mean,
maybe 2 weeks ago that might have happened, but you know what, man? There's some things. There's something.
Now I know that the guy was basically full of shit.
Well, I mean, he might be wishing something, but see, the thing is, this is the real world, right? This isn't. This isn't the world. This isn't the world where everything that's right happens. That's not the world. The world is shit happens,
exactly.
And you got to deal with it, and you got to man up.
Exactly.
And anybody who thinks that something like this is going to end with nobody bloody is stupid. They're absolutely stupid. Because they ripped 82 million. I don't know how many million of us there are, but I know there's millions more than the rest of these scumbags. And I know that at one point, and I'm just going by how I feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I watch Governor Hogan, and I watch Governor Christie, and I watch Marco Rubio, and I watch Pat Toomey, and I see fear. I see cowardice. But when I look at myself, I see anger. I'm not afraid. I'm mad. I am furiously angry because they stole my shit.
They stole mine too.
They stole my TV right out of my living room, man. That's what they did to me. And if that doesn't make you mad, then turn in your freaking America card. I'm
Exactly.
serious. Now, if that doesn't piss you
No,
off.
I know you are.
You know, I mean, we watched it. We all. And,
TV.
Marlene, I'm not
Then
getting
they-
on you. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not getting on you.
Okay.
This is just my platform, man. I just.
I understand.
You know,
You're on
every-
your soapbox. That's okay.
Yeah, that's right, Rico. I do, and that's one of the reasons that I wanted to get on here tonight was because I felt about 5 o'clock this afternoon, man. And Marlene, if you don't mind, I'm going to send it to Rico if that's okay.
That's so fine. Am I still on here, or should I?
No, you're still
should I
on.
hang
Well,
up?
no, stay on. If you got batteries, stay on. We're gonna come back around
I do have batteries.
at least one more time.
Okay.
But I just
Okay.
I hate to see somebody hanging so
I
long
totally get it. Yeah, I know.
without being able to say
Understand.
anything. But Rico, yeah,
no,
man.
No, we gotta get Rico in here.
I'm emotional. And anybody else who wants to join, now's the time to do it. We got at least one more round.
I'm trying to get
412-206-6208.
David, but he won't come outside.
And well, that's because he's cold, man. I mean, you know how that goes. What's the temperature out there right now?
Oh, probably upper 40s, like right around 50.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not bad
cold,
over
man.
here. It's a little bit foggy.
That's cold for Dave, though. You know it is. That's cold for me. You know, I got like anyway. All right, Rico. You know I'm emotional, man. You have to be, man. I mean, how can you live
Everybody
through this
should
and
be
not
emotional about this.
I agree, man.
Everybody should be emotional about this because it's not just losing the election to fraud. It's also the Democrats have basically they have basically crossed the line that they can't come back from.
Boom.
Because the Republicans right now, the Trump supporters are going to be discriminated against. They're not going to be able to get jobs. They're going to lose their homes. They're going to be thrown out in the street and all this because of this.
You're right, man. If we let it.
If we let it, But the problem is we're too much of a cowards as individuals to stand up against this. We need to stand up as 85 million, 100 million, 150 million strong and say we're not going to take this anymore.
I agree with you.
They've already proven to the nation that they're willing to lie and tell us that every single Trump supporter
kill Seth Rich. Seth Rich, they already did it. They already killed people over this. You know, and
you watch. There's going to be Antifa kill parties. You watch. That's coming soon.
That's right. And as soon as one of us shoots one of them in the face, we're going to be the Nazi. I mean, I'm telling you, man, this is going to be tough. It's going to be tough going forward.
They've already declared war. They basically said, look, man, we are on the moral high ground, which you're not. We're going to destroy you no matter what. And no matter what you do, it doesn't matter. We're going to make you look stupid, and we're going to use that information to basically destroy anybody who supports Trump and whoever is next up on the pulpit, because there's going to be somebody else up there on the pulpit. Because right now, you think like Senator Cruz is being under attack. A lot of these Republicans.
Senator Cruz he's not the answer, man. He's not the answer.
I know, I understand it. I'm just saying all these other Republicans are under attack as well.
Sure.
It's not just Trump. It's the other Republicans. There's a movement right now. What did Pelosi basically said to Pence? You got 24 hours. What the hell is Pelosi going to do in 24 hours?
Nothing. Nothing.
Is she trying to blackmail Pence or something like that?
There's not going to be a 25th Amendment movement, and there's not going to be an impeachment. They might try.
Well, I understand.
They might
that,
try both.
And
one thing that they really might try, and you got to ask yourself why, Rico, is I've heard that they're talking about impeachment after the president leaves office.
That's not. You can't do that. It's stupid.
But I mean,
a citizen afterwards. They can't impeach a citizen.
Hold on. You got to understand the Senate now. The Senate can make rules as they feel like. So there probably is an illegal or illegal way for them to do it, but understand why they're doing it. They are terrified. They know they're wrong. They know. Half the government knows, and all of the media knows, and a quarter of the Republican Party knows this can't last. How does it last? How do this many lies and this many people that know that it's lies and this many vote? It doesn't work. It's not going to last.
Now, can you imagine being any family member of Trump, or anybody who was a staffer, anybody who was associated with Trump for the rest of their life? Okay, they're going to be demonized. They're not going to be able to find jobs.
How about every one of you?
For these people.
How about every one of you guys?
Yeah,
once
they're
they
going to
get these
worse.
You know what? Hey, this isn't the first time. This isn't the first time that this kind of thing happened. All right, it's not. It's never been. I don't want to say never, because one of the things we do, Rico, and you know this because you're a statistician. You know that one of the things that Americans tend to do, and we've already talked about it on this program, is that, okay, well, we don't want to really create another party because it'll take too long. That's the way Americans are. Americans are right now people. Americans want to see video. They don't want to listen to a radio show. They don't want to read a book. They want to see it right in front of their face. And that's a weak point that we have. And luckily, the Democrats are not as smart as they think they are in exploiting that. But by God, the Chinese are.
If I see a concentration camp being built and Trump supporters being rounded up, I would consider that absolutely declaration of war against.
Then you got to go there. You got to go, and that's the thing. That's the thing. This is something that I've been very careful about. But they're starting to take our options away, man. I mean, every day I wake up, there's something else I can't do. So anyway, I'm going to swing it back, Rico. Thanks for chiming in. You'll get at least one more shot at it. I'm going to. I'm
going to bow out on this one.
Okay.
Let you guys talk. I think I've said enough.
Well, I want to thank you for coming in on this Sunday evening and giving us your opinion. Thank you, Rico.
Yeah, no problem. I'll still be listening. I'll be in the chat room.
All right.
I just sometimes I got all the emotion out that I needed to get out, and now I'm going to relax and listen to you guys ponder a little bit more about what's going on. So I'll let you guys go. I'd like to thank everybody for letting me on the show, and appreciate it.
Thanks, Rico. All right. Yep. Keep an eye on Mrs. Chow and McConnell, but thanks for coming on. Sean, California, you're up.
So, hey, Marlene and everybody. Just wanted to say that one more time, just in case you didn't hear me. But, backing up on Rico, what he said, he's right. These people are, and you are right too, Hutch, these people are really taking our options away from us. The last thing I want to do is absolutely give up my freedoms or go to all-out civil war. That's the last thing I want to do. But, when you see these people do the stupid things that they're doing.
And nobody's condoning that at this point. We're just having a discussion, but go ahead.
Right. I'm not condoning it either. I'm just saying what they're doing is they're forcing us into a position.
Holy shit, I sound like a pussy now, but go ahead.
Well, I'm not saying you do, Hutch. I'm just saying that.
No, I'm saying I do.
None of us want this. We don't want to have to hurt our own fellow citizens, but at this point, I don't consider these people fellow citizens for what they're doing.
The problem,
and you know what?
Let me just put this out there right now, because a lot of people, they have different feelings and different visions of scenarios. We can't have a civil war, man. I mean, my God, if we did, the first thing we would have to do would be to geographically polarize ourselves. Because right now, what are you going to have? A civil war in every state? There's Democrats and Republicans in every state.
Right.
The red states are not red and the blue states are not blue. There's Republicans, and there's millions of Republicans in every blue state. The same way with Democrats in red states. Well, maybe not as much. But anyway, keep that in mind when you think about that scenario. That scenario is not a good one.
Right, and I keep telling my friends, hey, whoa, stop. Don't think like that. Don't screw this up like you told me.
It's not North versus South, man. It's not North versus South anymore. Those days are gone.
Right. I explained that to them. It's like we got enemies watching us right now from Iran, China, Russia. They're waiting to pounce on us when we're in complete turmoil.
Indeed.
I don't want that to happen as much as anybody else does.
But that's not even close to the mayhem that would be caused by our own people in a civil war. I mean, it's not even close, man. I mean, this place would turn into, I mean, first of all, I don't even want to go down these roads, but you think about it, every single urban center, if we got into a civil war, how many truck drivers do you think would drive into those cities? They're all going to be starved out, man. It's going to be escape from New York in every single Democrat city. There's not a Teamsters local in the country that's going to drive into New York City. New York City is going to starve to death. So's San Francisco. So's Philadelphia, and to some extent Pittsburgh. Minneapolis, they're all dead. And then you start getting the crazy the crazy white boys up there. The dams are going to start getting blown. The bridges. I mean, come on, man. Boy.
Oh yeah.
These people like Jake Tapper think they know about life. They don't know a goddamn thing about life. They never fired a welder up once. Anyway, continue.
Again, I keep telling my friends. No, it's understandable. I keep telling my friends, look, calm down, okay? I'm there with you. I'm pissed off.
Me too.
But let's not let our emotions control us, because that's what they want too. They want us to be in complete despair, and then they want us to react they want us to.
Sean, that's another main reason that I had this show tonight. I'm glad you said that, because I almost forgot. I wanted to make sure that none of you felt like the opposition to Donald J. Trump was overwhelming, because it is not. This is a psyop operation by Chinese and sexually depraved Republicans, plus the media.
Oh yeah,
that's what this is. They're trying to make you think that nobody supports you, and you just know that's not true. You know it's not true. So don't ever think about it. Sean, final comments, and pass it to Regina. I want to talk to her next.
All right. This will be my final comment, and then I'll get off, because I got stuff that I got to clean up here. But let me make this clear, ladies and gentlemen. Don't lose hope.
Nope.
Now, there's so many different things that are going on right now, from people wanting to secede from the union or build a new third party or whatever. Okay? But let me make this clear. When we stand together, even through these most darkest times of our history, right now, we will be at the end of the tunnel with the light shining on us and the darkness shining on all these criminals, Satanists, you name it. Do not give up hope. I'm fighting for my future. I'm going to be 29 years old at the end of this month, the 31st of this freaking month. I got a lot to live for. I got a lot to experience still. I'm not giving up. Are you?
No, you need to get into local politics, man. I'm wherever your neighborhood is, you need to go there, man, and you need to go sign up. 29 years old, you're at a perfect age. Go in there right now and go become the goddamn dog catcher, man, and work your way up. I ain't lying. I'm serious as hell, man. I'm serious. You don't have to leave California. Fix California.
True. I'm starting to consider it, but I'm like, with my stress levels, my health, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm starting to seriously consider it, but anyway.
Jack Daniels, that's all you got there. All right, Sean, man, thanks for calling. Always appreciate it, brother.
Peace out.
All right, what a
See you
great
all
caller.
later.
Great caller. I'm glad we ended up getting in touch with Sean. Regina, I want to know what's going on in Richmond. What's going on? I haven't heard a word about your governor lately. I don't even know what's going on in your area.
Pretty much our governor is hiding, like he always
So's
does.
mine.
Yeah, he's hiding. So that's pretty much what he's doing. And our mayor is doing the same thing too. I want people to remember this. Remember this name. He's our mayor in Richmond. He's a Democrat, LeVar Stoney.
LeVar Stone.
A lot of people. No, LeVar Stoney.
Oh, Stoney. Okay, LeVar Stoney.
And a lot of people don't know this guy either because a lot of people skip over these guys because these guys always hide in the background. There's a guy named Donald McKeechin.
Donald McKeechin.
Right. Yeah, and another guy that you need to pay attention to. He's been in office almost, I think, a century, pretty much.
Goodness.
His name is Bobby Scott.
Bobby Scott. Sounds like somebody from the Black Panther Party back in the 70s.
Yep, so remember those names. And another thing I'm going to leave y'all with is that I'll be watching this other folks. We are also in what they call a spiritual warfare.
Oh, indeed.
And right now, a lot of the churches are going to go down too because I just found out tonight that Franklin threw President Trump up under the bus.
Hey, no.
What the?
What'd he do?
He I don't know exactly what he did, but he kind of sort of I think is accepting Joe Biden as the president elect, and I think he wants us all to come together and stuff like that. So.
Well, you know what I mean? How can you come together after that? Now I think that's, I understand I would challenge, I want to hear him say that. I don't know how you, I don't know, Regina. I just, I
got I looked that up and I sent it to you.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming on this Sunday evening. I don't normally do this. We used to have a show every Sunday, but I just, sometimes you just, I got this studio sitting here, and I was sitting there like 4 and 5 o'clock going, damn, I want to talk to these people. I want to see what they're thinking about. But I always appreciate when you call in and listen to the show, Regina. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
We'll catch you tomorrow, okay? All right. There's that. Let's go to Ralph in Missouri. Thank you so much for holding on so long. Your general thoughts on anything that's going on, and this is going to be the last go round, and we're going to shut her down. But take as much time as you want, Ralph.
Well, I'm going to tell you that something that's not got nothing to do with politics.
Okay.
But with the LHA, the Bonhomme Richard that caught fire here a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Lost cause. They're going to scrap her and make razor blades out of her. And
How much did they spend on the rehab before that?
Well, the thing of it is, she was in one of the ships that they build aluminum superstructures, and the bottom from the deck down is steel because they thought it would save money and all this other stuff. Well, with this fire that went through the ship, it warped it, and when they tear it all out, they'd have to do X-raying where the aluminum and the steel comes together and all that, and it would cost them all total to gut it and start over the way it sits, something like 10 or 11 $billion.
I'll tell you, what do you think about the integration of aluminum in the military hardware, man? I think it's the biggest mistake. And I'm not in the obviously Navy, but for ground forces, our armor. When I say armor, I mean tanks, and tanks only. Everything else is aluminum. Our tanks are M1A 2s and 3s. They're called Chobham armor. That's really good armor. I mean, to the point where when they were developing this tank, Ralph, when you had a stick, a welding rod, you had to turn in your stubs at Aberdeen Proving Ground to get 3 more welding sticks. That's how classified this shit was.
Yeah,
but the aluminum's junk. It's on all our armored personnel carriers, our Bradley fighting vehicles, our howitzers, and a goddamn bullet can go through them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I was never a fan with that aluminum.
But I wasn't crazy about the idea either. But it was so bad. It's like I was telling everybody when we were talking about the fire when it was happening live.
Right, the aluminum burns.
The big on the very top of the tallest part of the ship is a big square radar. That's a 48 surface search radar.
The conning tower?
And that thing is reading like the Tower of Pisa.
Wow.
And that they still haven't got all the fires out, which that meant they were going to have to tear all that out. Well, at the Admiral Gilday, the Chief of Naval Operations, currently
CNO.
Assessment, they said, no, we're building America-class LHAs now, so they'll probably end up, they're going to scrap the Bonhomme Richard and just build another one and name it Bonhomme Richard.
Oh, I'm for that. I think that's smart. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea, but because this was just no fun. I mean, because the way the ship was built, you had a fire from the bow to the fantail. You just can't do that. Also, last but not least,
hold on before you hold on a second, Ralph. Before you go there, I want you to explain to the audience the concept that everybody in the Blue Water Navy, whether on a destroyer, whether on a boat, a ship, or a submarine, every single sailor in the Blue Water Navy is a certified firefighter.
Yes.
Because
everybody
at any time.
Has to be certified, at every command has to be certified the basic firefighter.
Do you know that my friend, my buddy, one of my main buddies, the nuclear submarine is considered a boomer, right?
No. A boomer is the one that carries ICBMs.
Yeah.
Not all submarines are boomers.
Okay. All right. Okay. But anyway, my buddy was in charge of the nuclear power plant on one of those. And I mean, this was, Ralph, this was my drinking buddy. And this guy would not tell me shit no matter how drunk we got. He would not tell me shit about that. Except for the fact that he told me that he not only had to be a certified firefighter, he had to know how to do everything with a blindfold on.
Oh, God.
We never went that far, but
I mean, he was in charge of the power plant. He told me the scariest day of his life was one day when it shut down. And he didn't know what to do, man. He was like panicking. He's like, oh my God. Everybody on this boat is looking at me, and I don't know what to do.
Well, nuclear or conventional, either one, you always get worried when you go dark and dirty and the lights go out. But I'll leave you with this last thought. Nuclear-powered reactors, when they shut down, they scram it. It's either a scram 1 or a scram 2. Okay. When a reactor is critical, that means it's operating normally, and it's within nominal specifications.
Oh.
Okay? In the movies, they say, the reactor's critical. Oh, my God, it's going to blow up. No, it's not. But anyway, we got all kinds of brand-new missiles and everything else, and we're building a couple of new Columbia subs that's going to have Trump's super-duper missile, the AGM-183, which is a hypersonic.
Right.
Missile, can be
guided missile.
Tipped with a nuclear weapon and all that, instead of putting them all on, because they're trying to, when they get the Columbias built, they'll start decommissioning the boomer fleet of the Ohio classes.
Okay. You know, Ralph, I got to tell you. I just mentioned it in the chat room. Thank you very much for sharing your expertise, man. That's one of the things I love about this. You guys are so smart. Not just you, everybody in the chat room and in the audience. I love listening to your input, man. Continue.
Yeah, we're building. The Secretary of the Navy's christened the new class of guided missile frigates that we're going to build, the first 10. They're Constellation-class frigates. And that would be equivalent right off the dock to a I'm trying to think of the terminology of flight level 2 guided missile destroyer like the Arleigh Burke classes. And not all these planes and not all these ships like the Arleigh Burke classes are all going to get up to flight level 3 and flight level 2 because they'll be too old. And they may not,
Right.
they may decommission some of them. Like the Arleigh Burke, which was the first one.
Well, we'll have to keep our eye on it and watch the defense
but I started to say
appropriation
that,
bills.
you know,
Good.
Northrop Grumman, Raytheon dropped out, so Northrop Grumman got the contract to build new land-based ICBMs to replace the Minuteman 3Gs that we currently use.
I'm sure Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney are happy as hell. All right, Ralph. I appreciate you calling in, man. I appreciate you coming out on a Sunday, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks, Ralph. Great stuff, man. Ken, King George, another Navy guy. I'm getting ready to play some Navy music, man, but this is your chance, man. We're almost out of here. Good show tonight, huh?
All right. Well, oh, yeah. One of the things I've been noticing with a lot of these headlines I've been seeing from various news organizations is they're trying to turn this they're trying to turn this whole thing in D.C. that happened on Wednesday into Charlottesville 2.0.
Oh, yeah. You going to let that happen? I'm not. Screw them.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, one of the guys I work with, he's super liberal. I think he might toot the root a little bit, but I can't confirm that.
Right.
But
we wouldn't want to go there.
And I got to watch what I say because he is a government employee and all this, but when he's constantly posting this anti-Trump this and that, So I responded to one of his, things. I was like, his headline's a little misleading. Now, I meant to ask this on Friday, but I didn't get a chance. Now, was Sidney Powell officially part of his Trump's legal team?
No.
Okay, so the headline said, basically, Trump lawyer, blah, 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 blah. So my response was, she was never officially part of the Trump legal team.
No, it was established early on. It was kind of a stunner, if you remember.
Well, he responded with a New York Times, article. Yeah. So I'm like, so then before I had a chance to rebuke that, like 50 other people start blah 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 this and that.
I know. It's not even worth talking about. I gotta chime in here, Ken. I mean, because you're talking about the story of my last 6 months, man. You can't talk to these people. You can't. They are so.
No, you can't.
They're talking about us the same way too. Understand that. This is a two-way sword. But
so I'm like, okay,
go ahead.
Right, you respond with a New York Times article. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Roger that.
Roger.
Well, then all of a sudden, like 80 other people start piling on, coming after me. And one of the ladies, I don't even remember what the hell her name was, but she's like, "Well, you're an idiot."
She's probably ugly. She's probably ugly and possibly lesbian. But
so
go
I
ahead.
kindly respond to her. I'm like, okay, I said,
I'm wrong.
If you don't want to have a polite conversation and all you have to do is resort to name calling, I said, I hope you enjoy, you have a nice day, and I hope you enjoy spending $5 a gallon for gas in the near future.
I mean, do you hear me? Do you hear me? I'm to the point where I've, denigrated to calling them names. That's what I just did. And it's like, I thought about that, and it's like, what else do you do? They're not coming at you. You cannot have a back and forth dialogue with these people because there's no way, like me, you can convince me that I'm wrong about something. Now, it's probably not going to happen in a whole lot of lifetimes, but there is a possibility that if I'm saying something stupid and you say something smarter, I do have the capability to adjust my, synapses from firing incorrectly. If you tell me it's dark out at night and I'm trying to tell you it's light out at night, I can go outside at night and see it's dark and maybe change my mind. But that's not happening with these people. These people have marching orders, in my opinion. Ken.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything that they posted, BuzzFeed, Vox,
right.
Name any sort of left-leaning, hard left-leaning stuff. And this is what they're freaking reading, and they're believing it.
How many times do we have, how many of these people do we have to listen to that are okay with killing or silencing or firing or making pain come to somebody who says something? How many decades, our entire lives, Ken and Marlene, have been centered around freedom of speech, as the teachers, even the unionized ones, told us every day of our lives in school that the First Amendment is supreme.
Yep.
That's gone, man. Gone.
Oh, yeah. The birthplace of free speech. So what is Berkeley, university, but, can't have that Nazi,
But the 6-year-old now, the 6-year-old's not allowed to say what he wants now.
Well, they wouldn't allow a gay guy that has a European accent and a black boyfriend to speak at Berkeley.
Who the hell? Oh, you talking about Milo? Milo and his Nigerian hordes?
Yeah. And I
forgot about that.
Yeah, you're right.
I liked it better when I forgot about it, but go ahead. They killed him. They whacked him, man.
Yeah,
dead as hell. I haven't heard him for years. Have you?
No.
He's through, man. He's through. Hey, Ken.
Him,
Go
Steve Bannon.
Bannon will be back. Bannon will be back. He'll be back with an AK. He'll be back. But we'll see.
But this censorship crap's got to go.
It does. You're right.
Especially if you have any sort of, if you're bombastic like Trump, which we have a particular senator down here that you've heard of her, Amanda Chase.
Yeah, she's catching hell too.
They feel that she's a threat.
Sure.
And she's looking to run for governor this year. And
I hope she wins. We don't need Facebook, man. Don't worry about Facebook. We get her name out there. We'll get enough money up there. Facebook is the past. So is Twitter. You see how many people are getting off Twitter?
I did.
It's great, man. It's outstanding. I got to go, Ken. I'm running out of time. It's time for me to go. I want to appreciate you for calling in. I want to thank you for calling in.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem.
I'm glad that... Hope you enjoyed the show, man. I had to get out here and talk a little bit. Just gets that way sometimes. Thanks for calling, man.
Oh, yeah.
Catch you
tomorrow.
Hey,
I'm sure Marlene's
say hi to Teresa.
At the bit.
Yeah, she's next, man. Thanks. All right, see you.
All right.
Marlene, you're up, man. We're almost out of here. What's going on, man? Final thoughts. Let's close it out.
Okay, my friend. Final thoughts. While all this is going on, I started to think about a video I saw earlier today with Mike Lindell. And one couple things that really kind of struck me was that basically he was reminding us to not give up hope just because of what's happening.
Who are you talking about again?
And that
who just said?
Mike Lindell.
Mike Lindell. Okay, got it. Mike Lindell. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry
he was
about
on
that.
with this. I can when I get home tomorrow, I can give you the link. Maybe
I'll
I can
find
email
it.
it to you later.
I just didn't understand you. I
can
got
find
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Michael Lindell, and he's with this young lady who's a associate pastor of a tabernacle something church. I forget what it was.
Tabernacle.
But anyway, they were talking.
Always like that word.
Yeah, yeah, I do too. That's cool. Anyway, basically what he was saying is, that God has a bigger plan.
Yep.
And we need to remember who's really boss. It's not the government.
Right, That's right.
God.
And you know what else? It's not Trump, man. This is not about Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can instill anything in you this evening that's different than what you brought here earlier, this is not about Trump. This is about us. Trump brought us here. Trump's over 70. He has done his job. He did the best he could, and he was magnanimous. But we will find another person to personify the leadership that we need, and it may come from his family. It might. You don't know. You don't know where it's going to come from.
That's a possibility, but
Donald Trump,
right.
we need to put pictures up of him in our houses, and we need to remember what he did for us. But this is not about trying to hold on to Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump did his job, and so did we.
Did. And he did very well, and so did we. Yeah.
That's right. And we uncovered the criminal bastards that are in our own party, and we will kill them. We will kill them.
Oh, definitely.
One way or another.
I'm also hoping that at some point, I don't know whether it'll happen. I don't think it will. I still would like to see somebody prosecuted, but I highly doubt it. And as for China, I really think that China is unleashing, and I've started to read this book. It's not an easy read, but I will get through it. The book is called Unrestricted Warfare.
By Spalding.
What?
Is it by General Spalding?
No, this is different, Hutch. This is different. This is an actual book that these two Chinese generals, they were part of the PLA.
Right. Okay.
And it's on Amazon.
People's Liberation Army, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. And basically what it is it gives you a guide for everything that those bastards are doing to us right now.
And they're hurting us,
one
man.
form or another.
And the thing that really pisses you off about it is they're doing it with Republicans, man. That's the part. That's the part that makes me want to go out. I mean, that just infuriates me, and it makes me look at the rich. You know the jagoffs that wear those socks that are like plaid socks. I mean, these.
Yes. Yes.
I just get so damn mad. But anyway, you're on the right track.
Thank you. I know, but seriously, that's what they're doing to us. And the gist of that whole book is that there are no rules that are off table. Doesn't matter what it is.
It's called asymmetric warfare. It's called asymmetric warfare.
Asymmetric warfare. Yes.
And if you look at General Spalding, who's on the show 3 times.
Yes, there's another. Oh, that reminds me. The video that I think it was done about a month ago. It's through the Epoch Times.
Yeah.
Remember the guy that did the one about where the Wuhan virus came from? Same young man.
That was.
He does another one about the election, and
that was the Epoch Times. That was the Epoch Times that did that. Rubenstein or whatever.
You should go back and watch that. It's about an hour, but it's really good.
All right.
But Spalding's in there, and so is Trevor Loudon.
But if I do that, am I going to shoot myself when it's over, or what? I mean,
no, you won't shoot
That's
yourself.
never going to happen. That's never going to happen anyway.
Me neither. But
clear that out.
That is a video. It's worth about an hour of your time. I really loved it.
Well, how's Dave doing, man? Is he inside? Tell him I said hi. And
okay,
I'm glad he's
here.
Oh, he's outside with you?
Yeah.
Oh, Dave, man, you got to get on the phone, man.
You want me to put him on here? Hang on a second. I can do it, Hutch.
I mean, we got a couple minutes.
Okay. Let me get off the hearing aid thing, and I'll put him on for you.
All right.
It won't take long. I know he's sitting here once.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of our listeners, Dave, is getting ready to come on.
Go ahead, honey.
He's a biblical scholar. I wanted to know, Dave, we've had a a couple days or almost a week or two of really bad news. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I'm starting to feel a little bit more like, all right, we know where we are. We know where we've got to go. And it's a big Mount St. Helen that we're looking up. But I have faith in the fact that, maybe the battle with the communists is lost, but the war, in my opinion, is with the truth and with the Lord. And I'd like to know how you're feeling. Are you feeling to where our faith can pull us through this? And just where are you right now, sir?
Well, I think the Psalms have an answer. Psalm 44. Don't pay attention to those who turn aside to lies, but trust in the Lord.
Oh, good one.
So,
because so many are doing the lies, man. And that was something that I spoke about right at the beginning of the show. The universal lies is one of the things that's surprising me and stunning me. You?
Okay. I have been studying the annexation of Israel into the Roman Empire. And the whole process and phase went over the time and treaty deals and trusting in man and just being part of the reason why the Hasmonean dynasty came down is because they reached out to him, the Rome, to help them with the Greeks that were enslaving them. And we're dealing with a situation. There's a lot of zeal to oppress us by people.
Young people, especially.
The only way to run a government is by oppression.
Yeah.
So they do not believe in individual rights. They believe in themselves. And so it's really difficult to understand this,
But back to your statement about not your statement, but back to the verbiage of the psalm. I mean that's self-explanatory. Can you say it again?
Yeah, don't respect the proud and those who turn aside to lie.
Yeah,
but trust in the Lord.
Right. I don't know where else we can go. I mean that's pretty much. I don't want to keep you outside too long. I'm getting ready to close this up anyway. But what else is on your mind? Go ahead, sure.
Yeah. Okay, do you remember Mossad?
Mossad? You mean Israel's secret police? Yeah.
The head of the Northern Alliance.
The Northern Alliance? I remember them too.
Okay.
They were Northern Alliance. Their power was the United States Special Operations. Just so you know, just because I do know.
Right, I do. And Mossad appealed to the Clinton administration. They told Mossad not to kill Osama
bin Laden.
So, yeah.
Right.
But so to his problem, he got himself killed. But what happened is these people called Al-Qaeda operatives. Okay, and these Al-Qaeda operatives were posing as newsmen. And they killed Mossad at 9/9/2001.
All right.
Which is one indication you can get of what happened with this operation of a pretense. So, and there's also another operation with 9/11. These people were in jets, but they were put as pilots. But they weren't pilots.
You know, the whole 9/11 thing, I mean, the Bush family, the whole Koch brother, the whole thing stinks to me. And it always did, but there was never any way that there was ever going to be any justice for it, and there still isn't. Most of the things that we're dealing with right now, there's never going to be any justice.
There were people who should have posed as vote counters, posed as those who were contributing to the process, posed as those who were trying to make things internal. But we had nothing at all. We closely resembled a cool, happy flight. We got taken for a ride. Everyone. When I think what happened, Trump is worse than 9/11.
Say that again?
I think what happened to Trump is worse than 9/11.
Oh, no, I agree with you. I mean, I'm wondering when the rest of the world, Dave, is going to chime in. When is the rest of the world going to say, America is a third world country? You pricks, you have no right to have the world reserve currency. You're a freaking banana republic. Fuck you. That's what I'm waiting to hear. I'm waiting to hear China and Russia say that, and they would be correct. They would be totally correct. Why would anybody trust this country? Why would anybody trust this country? You got to be out of your mind to trust Marco Rubio and freaking Chris Christie and Pat Toomey. You got to be stupid to trust Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. They're going to turn on us, Dave, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It is.
What has happened.
Protect your money, man. Protect your money.
Yeah, thank you. I will take your advice.
I'm going to take that advice, too. I'm calling my bank tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, Dave. I got to roll, man.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Okay,
man.
bye.
We always appreciate it, sir. Always do. That was Dave from Eugene, Oregon. But tonight, they are in Florence. You know what? What a great show, man. You guys are awesome. I had no idea that this was going to last this long. I really didn't. I thought it was going to be maybe a half hour. I got a little bit of a headache, but I'm okay. I got to go in and start the pellet stove in the other room. I want to leave you. We had such a great naval excursion this evening. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much to Ken and everybody else. I mean, okay, I'm at a little bit of a loss, but we're going to find it because I know it's here somewhere. No, seriously, though, thank you, everybody, especially our naval experts, for chiming in. We always appreciate that because I don't really know that much about the Navy. I mean, I know a little bit about it. I was in the Sea Cadet Corps, which was absolutely a cool experience. It really was. I mean, this place where and I know Ken did that for a while, but our Naval Reserve Center was so cool. It was set up like a ship. You know, they had the gunnels and the ladders and everything else. So that was always cool. But I want to thank especially Ralph for coming on and just giving us that expert analysis and anybody else, Ken and anybody. But here, let's go with this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for coming on. A lot of good chat going on in the chat room. We got some problems going on with the United States government, the military, starting to look stupid. Internet might be at risk. No worries, man. Don't worry, man. We'll be all right. They can try this shit, but it's we'll see what happens. I'm not afraid of it. You may be. I mean, I'm in a different position than a lot of people when it comes to life, but I love this country, man, and I love you. And these people are not near as tough as they think they are. And they don't have near the support in the military that they think they do. The officers, they're scumbags, man. I mean, West Point, Annapolis, Air Force Academy, pieces of shit should all be burned to the ground. Communists, that's all they're turning out. Communist pussies. Just look at John Kelly from Annapolis. Look at Mattis from Annapolis. Scumbag pussies. They're tough when they're up against Arabs, but, well, they can't handle freedom. Anyway, that's the way that goes, folks. I'm not backing down yet. We'll see. I mean, Wolverines, baby. I love that. Oh, Paul, Wolverines. Don't make me do that. What else you gonna do, man? You know, what else you gonna do? Like I said, I love you guys, and I'm gonna stay here as long as I can. I've got other options other than this. Maybe I'm going to have to start building a couple of antennas. That's possible. But anyway, we will catch you again tomorrow night at 8 p.m. with Ward Miller on Monday night on our normal show. And we will cover all the political things. I did this whole show tonight with no notes. Did you like that? I cursed a couple times. But what are you going to do? Yeah, they said McInerney said that Special Forces took Nancy Pelosi's laptop. Why didn't they kill her? Why didn't they arrest her yet? I don't know. Thanks to everybody that tuned in. Please make sure you like the show. You shared it. Pretty weird doing the show on Sunday, but it was fun. I'm glad everybody tuned in. I gotta go, folks. We'll catch you tomorrow. God bless.
what so proudly we hailed, and the twilight lies gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the fray, and the home of the brave? Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the U.S. of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. This land of the brave, the U.S. of A.
U.S. of A.
Oh, say, does
That star-spangled banner yet wave on the land of the free, and the home of the But first, ladies and gentlemen, before we can even come close to going through the DJ possibilities, we have to think about Georgia and the senatorial contests that were waged there. And we have to think about the intellectual superiority of the people in and around Atlanta, Georgia, and the geniuses that they elect to Congress.
No, this is a island that at its widest level is 12 miles from shore to shore, and at its smallest level or smallest location, it's 7 miles between one shore and the other. Is that correct?
I don't have the exact dimensions, but to your point, sir, I think Guam is a small island.
Very small island, and about 24 miles, if I recall, long. So 24 miles long, about 7 miles wide at the least widest place on the island and about 12 miles wide on the widest part of the island. And I don't know how many square miles that is. Do you happen to know?
I don't have that figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that. The Guam population, I think, currently about 175,000, and again, with 8,000 Marines and their families, it's an addition of about 25,000 more into the population.
Just a couple.
And also things like the environment, the sensitive areas of the environment, coral reefs and those kinds of things.
Porta potties and whatnot.
You know, lots of people don't like to think about that, but, you know, we didn't think about global warming either. And
right.
Now we do have to think about it. And so I'm concerned from an environmental standpoint whether or not Guam is the best place to do this relocation, but it's actually the only place. Is that correct?
This is the best place. This is the farthest west U.S. territory that we own. And, you know, this is part of our nation. And in readdressing the forward presence and posture importance to Pacific Command, Guam is vital to this decision.
Vital. I mean, vital.
Ali. Apprentice. Now, Corolla, why did your team lose? Now, hold on a second. And by the way... Interrupt this program for Obama to say something. My fellow Americans.
You can't get away from Obama. I mean, you just can't do it.
President of America.
It's like Curious George.
This time.
I did some time in jail. I did some crime with Michelle. We stole some fried watermelon. If you pity Kanye, I'm known to smack up a bitch. I got Kool-Aid in the fridge. I never met my kids. Their real dad is Kanye. Guns, yeah, I sold them. Hoes, tricks, yeah, I told them. Blood splits, yeah, I rolled them. Riding out to homegrown payback. Hey, I just met you. So please don't tase me. My name's Obama. Was born in Haiti. I still get food stamps. I'm just lazy. I'm still on welfare. So fuck you, baby. They might arrest you, but you could blame me. They'll pull me over, incarcerate me. If I get unemployed, shit don't faze me. My name's Obama. I'll roll with Jeezy. Jeezer? Are you young Jeezer? How'd you get in the White House? I smoke a lot of Newports. I sit a lot on the porch. I stole 2012 Porsche from my neighbor's driveway. I did a lot of drug deals. I killed Osama for trills. I blamed it on Navy SEALs and fucked his bitch sideways. Bro, yeah, I'm holding rocks, weed, meth, heroin. White House garden showing. What you think I'm throwing? Daisies? Hey, I just met you. No, it's okay, see. My name's Obama. I'm half Kuwaiti. It's hard to look white. Robin Macy's, give me the food boot. Don't try to play me. Hey, I just met you. No, please don't mace me. My name's Obama. I dance like Swayze. If you live in Detroit, you gotta thank me. My name's Obama. I'm Pakistani. Before I came in the White House, I used to smoke crack. I used to sew crack. I used to roll so black. I was born in Dubai. I'd like to go back. Where's all my hoes at? Take off your clothes and don't talk back. Now, the American people have a clear choice. Would you like to get smacked with a pimp cane or with the back of my hand? It's hard to look white. I'm smacking ladies, so it's no wonder y'all crackers hate me. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. I steal your Hummer and throwed your baby. Sandusky touched the boy, or so they say. See, my name
sorry, I get that from my mother. She's a typical white person.
Come on, Misha.
What?
Do you believe in government assistance?
What?
Well, I've got something to say about it. And it goes something like this, Blair. Misha takes his girl out for free. Don't need no cash to eat. He pays with EBT or that. People get so jealous and mad. Americans make fuss cause their taxes go to us. It's bad, so bad. We got a Lexus in parking lot. It does not make a difference if it's legal or hot. Most people have jobs, but we do not all day. We drink and smoke pot.
420.
Oh, it's so unfair. Living on welfare. We don't pay tax, and we really don't care. Living on welfare.
Sasha's girl is eating all day. She loves government cheese. Tell me, what does that bitch weigh? Oi, blять.
The USA will never be poor. When we run out of ham, we call up Uncle Sam for more. More ham. Please, пожалуйста. We made our green cards in Photoshop. It does not make a difference if they're bloody or cropped. So hard to spend all the money we got. Oi, bleh. We'll give it a shot. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on welfare, expensive suntans and grooming chest hair. Oh, living on welfare, living on welfare. Solo clear.
This guy's not so bad. I'm glad we picked him.
He's not good. Busted. Oh, if we're pulled over, if we get stopped, we'll use your tax dollars to pay off the cops. Oh, it's so unfair. Oh, living on welfare, support our lifestyle. We're grateful, I swear. Oh, living on welfare. Oh, it's so unfair.
Living on the welfare. I'm going to pick up my welfare check. BRB.
He was just a rookie trooper and he surely shook with pride. He checked all his equipment and made sure his pack was tight. He had to sit and listen to those awful engines roar. You ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more. Zoom, 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 zoom. Is everybody happy? Cried the sergeant looking up. Our hero feebly answered yes, and then they stood him up. He jumped into the icy blast, his static line and hook, and he ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more. Zoom, 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 zoom. He counted long, he counted loud, he waited for the shock. He felt the wind, he felt the cold, he felt the awful drop. The silk from his reserve spilled out and wrapped around his legs, and he ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more. Zoom, 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 zoom. The riser swung around his neck, connectors cracked his dome. Suspension lines were tied in knots around his skinny bones. The canopy became his shroud, he hurtled to the ground, and he ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more. Zoom, 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 zoom. For days he lived and loved and laughed, kept running through his mind. He thought about the girl back home, the one he left behind. He thought about the medicos and wondered what they'd find. And he ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more. Zoom, 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 zoom. The ambulance was on the spot, the jeeps were running wild. The medics jumped and screamed with glee, rolled up their sleeves and smiled. For it had been a week or more since last the shoe had failed, and he ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more. Zoom, 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 zoom. He hit the ground, the sound was splat, his blood went spurting high. His comrades, they were heard to say, a hell of a way to die. He lay there rolling round in the welter of his gore, and he ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more. There was blood upon the risers, there were brains upon the chute. Intestines were a-dangling from his paratrooper suit. He was a mess, they picked him up and poured him from his boots, and he ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more.
Thank you. Let us pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.